Zach was doing this whole clinic with these. They were 4.
Yeah.
Jay was 4.
4, 5, 6.
4. Yeah. Anyway, he's doing this whole clinic with all these kids, and his mom jumps in because I don't know if she didn't think you were doing it right, or she just was like, let me get in there. Like she just walked out on that field. Welcome back to the Raising Heights podcast, where we all get a little different perspective.
I'm Zach.
I'm Tori.
We're your host.
Yeah.
Yep.
Welcome back if you are returning. If this is your first time, thanks for being here with us.
Yeah.
All the things.
Peak and Pit.
Okay, I wanted to pause for a second and reiterate why we do Peak and Pit, because I had a thought this morning while I was taking a shower, because that's when I do my best thinking. But we do Peak and Pit each week with our family, each night with our family at the dinner table. Yep. We talk about the highs and lows of our days, peak being the best, pit being the worst. But I was also thinking about it. This would be a great opportunity to talk to your spouse or someone important in your life that, we tend to focus on peak because it's a podcast and we're here to bring light to your day, not tear everyone down. But it's a really good opportunity if something did happen during the day or during the week to bring that up with your spouse or significant other. And so I just want to throw it out there that if it's a great way to celebrate with your spouse or significant other.
Or family. That's what we do.
Or family. Yeah. But I'm also trying to say beyond family. If it's just, two people.
Got it.
But anyway, Peak and Pit, we love doing it. What was your pit?
My pit was, I'm always bad at these.
Don't say the weather. Just don't say the weather.
Because the weather's been great the last couple of days though.
Yeah. I can go first if you need time to think.
Yeah, go pit. What's your pit?
This is going to be so annoying. I'm going to be that person from now on. My pit, I am so sore because of my peak. Do you want to ask me what my peak is?
What's your peak?
I signed up for a half marathon.
Oh, heck yeah.
Oh, heck yeah. So now, were you thinking I'm going somewhere different?
I don't know where you're going.
I'm totally going to be one of those people that talks about it all the time now.
I love it. It's going to be awesome, Tori. If you accomplish that, when you accomplish that, it's going to be way cool. You're going to feel so good. I did a pretty big physical feat a couple years ago, and it's awesome at the end of it. So I'm super proud of you. And
I'm hoping I can get to the end of it. But yeah, I have been running pretty consistently for the last month and a half.
Yeah, month and a half, yeah.
Just trying to work out, move my body, be more consistent in health, and trying to get... I also want to side note this, and this could be a tangent, so I apologize, but I have read a lot of articles lately about postpartum and how women's bodies really do take a full 2 years to heal postpartum.
Yep.
And I feel that to my core. I finally feel good, ready, capable, healed, And so I've been running, just trying to move and trying to be more active. And I brought this up to my friend who does Ironmans and is a total hype guy, and his wife is a total hype girl, and they're like, you could totally do a half marathon.
Yeah, love it.
So on a whim.
They're total hype people.
They are. So we'll see.
Awesome. Peak, pit. So Pete or pick.
Ooh.
Pit, you're super sore. Peak, you're working out.
A half marathon.
And you have a goal in mind.
And I'm hoping I'll be held accountable by putting it on every social media feed that I have.
Yeah.
So people will be like, how are you doing on that?
Yeah. That's good, Tori.
Yeah. What's your peak? Do you have a peak?
I do have a peak. Our friends, the Muellers, came over, and we haven't seen them in quite a few months. Our boys love each other, and it was a blast. And yeah, so
We've
friends
really missed them.
Yeah, friends from Hillsborough came up and spent the day with us. That was my peak, probably.
It was great.
Also, our kids, just hanging out with them. And
it's funny, we talk about it all the time about how, Zach grew up with Jacob Mueller, and they've been best friends since kindergarten.
Yeah.
And we talk about all the time about how it's awesome to have those friends that you automatically just fall back into.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like we haven't seen them in, we said like 9 months. They didn't, they came up to meet Sai when he was born. And then I don't think we've seen them since. And
we haven't seen them in a while.
And it was like no time passed. It was just, it was very nice.
Great time with them. Yeah. So that was my peak. I don't have a pit. I don't have like a pit.
Weather.
I don't know. Not like, I've been stressed about this landscape project that I'm going to tackle, but not like a pit. I was a little annoyed yesterday, I guess. The kids were kind of wore on me, but not like a pit, you know, just natural.
I feel like those are those good days, though, that when you're stressed or frustrated, those are like, you got to tap out. You got to like call me in and be like, take over.
I know, but we have 3 kids. Both of us always have to be on deck.
I know.
So, all right, let's get into it.
So today is an episode that Zach's been begging for. So I'm going to just let you talk. So go ahead.
Sports. Soccer.
You got to take the reins on this one because this is your forte.
Soccer's a huge part of my life. Has been a huge part of my life. It's literally what I obsess over. Not as much anymore, but...
When did you start playing soccer?
I was like 6 when I did rec soccer. I was probably 6. Yeah, we did rec, Hillsborough soccer. And yeah, I still have my like first 2 trophies or whatever.
So good.
My mom
brought him up here. Yeah, they should have been sitting right here.
I know, man. My mom brought up our trophies, and I kept my first 2.
So good. Was your mom your coach at 6?
No. We had some dad was the coach, and
she coached Jacob's team.
She coached Jacob's team. Yeah, she didn't coach any of. Maybe she did a year of Molly's. Maybe I don't remember, but
not yours.
Yeah, no, she did. No, we were always on a different coach's team. We were with him 2 or 3 years, and then bounced around. When Jeremy went to competitive, I stayed with rec.
Did you ever play competitive sports?
I did not. I never even tried out. So.
Was that just not wanting to, or?
No, I think just the realisticness of it. It wasn't like Jeremy didn't make it. Jeremy tried out.
Okay, but Jeremy also didn't he try out for one of the hardest?
Yeah, competitive.
But like, there's other competitive. He tried out for like Oregon's like not collegiate. That's not the right word. They're top of the top.
Oh no. Oh yeah. Oh, I get what you're saying.
He like did the Timbers
ODP or something.
Yeah.
Yes.
You could have tried out for like.
I don't know. No, after being a coach of competitive soccer for the last 10, 15 years or whatever, 10 years, I couldn't have made it. And I appreciate my mom and dad maybe not putting me in that position where I would have been. I don't know. I don't have any regrets not trying out. Even Jeremy like had a hell of a time with. He was on the A team.
On our podcast.
Yeah. He was on the A team, and then he went to the B team. Yeah. You know, he wanted to go to the B team because the A team was just way intense. And
do you think that you watching Jeremy go through that had an impact on why you wouldn't want to try out? Like, do you think that if he tried out, got it, played, and had fun with it, do you think that you would have been more inclined to try it yourself?
No, I was, no, it was intense. It's intense. And being someone with dwarfism and just, I don't think you have to be exceptional in my opinion.
I guess I'm just like also sitting here confused because there was a lot of people around me that were playing competitive soccer that weren't that good. And your mind is insane with soccer.
That's what everyone would say to me. But like, again, when you have almost zero physical advantage in every physical situation during a game, like watch a soccer game and how many physical situations are there. And when you have zero, like you have to be brilliant. And there's some situations that don't matter. If you make every exact correct decision, angle, whatever, you will still lose because it's a physical, there's just a physicality there also. And if you're shorter and you don't have a lot of physical ability like that, you'll probably get put up front in the forward position. Well, if you're taking up a forward position, you know what I'm saying? You have, like, that's stress. You have to be pretty good at it. It's because you're taking away the number 10 spot from someone else. The forward position. So why is Zach always playing forward? Is he just up there because he can't play anything else? You know what I'm saying? There's politics there. And I'm not saying anyone with dwarfism can't play competitive soccer, but you have to really have your wits about you.
Yeah. But you did play competitive in some way because you played for school, and that's
I didn't play my freshman year, but yeah, I played my sophomore, junior, and senior year.
Which, didn't you get benched your senior year?
No. What are you talking about? No, I did not.
For grades. Like, didn't you like...
No.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I saw an episode. Like, I wonder if that was being dramatic.
Yeah, you're believing the...
See,
yeah.
I fell for the drama. Sorry.
Yeah. Anyway.
Gosh.
Where was
Okay,
my
so you
thought?
played your sophomore, junior, senior year.
Yeah. So, yes, that was my youth career.
Mm-hmm.
I'm maybe not a regret, but maybe not exploring a different sport that I could have maybe pursued more competitively.
Putting all your marbles on.
But soccer was like literally my obsession. I got jerseys every Christmas, FIFA all year round. And so I couldn't imagine doing any other sport. Any other sport seemed ridiculous to me. So
good.
Yeah, that was my soccer.
And you still, I mean, that's when I met you, you still played. And I thought you were a very good player. Like, you are a very good player.
It's pretty good. Like in the indoor game, it was decent.
Because you know the angles and the proper placeage of everything, like players, ball, everything.
My golden years were doing that indoor team when you came on the scene.
I don't even know how I made that team. I don't know. There must not have been tryouts. But
those are the golden years, though.
Those were pretty fun.
Of soccer.
When Molly played with us.
Oh yeah, and then I think I was on a men's team too for a minute there.
Those were scary to watch in an indoor setting because you would get slammed into the door, and I was like, or the wall, and I just always thought, oh my gosh, okay, someone's gonna break something, and they did. People broke stuff all the time.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's aggressive. But yeah, soccer was always my thing.
It was so fun though when we first had Jackson, bringing him to indoor goals to watch you. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
he would sit on that little corner where the window was low, and he'd sit and watch Dad play soccer.
Yeah.
And remember, we have that picture of him sitting on where you worked at indoor goals.
Yeah.
Because Zach worked at an indoor soccer arena for 10 years.
Yeah.
Long time.
10 years, yeah.
And we have a little picture of him on the indoor
Those were the
goals.
golden days.
Those
are the glory days, I should say.
Now indoor goals is a pickleball arena.
Yeah, well, it's no long, like the business is gone.
Indoor goals is gone.
Yeah, the warehouse is still there, but they sweeped it, and now there's a bunch
pickleball.
of pickleball's there.
Which pickleball is sweeping the nation. We should get on that train.
We should. That's a nice little easy.
Did you know that in pickleball the ball can bounce 2 times before you hit it back?
I did not. I don't know any of the rules.
I don't know. I heard that and I'm like, that just sounds too easy.
Yeah. It just sounds enjoyable though. Just nice and relaxed, but also a little competitive.
Yeah.
You and I would thrive, I feel like.
I don't know though. You and I played tennis one time, and that was one sport I could beat you in. Because you're so good at all athletic, physical things. Like, you're good at them.
Was I pretty good with the swing?
I remember being...
So what do you do? What were your sports?
So I feel like I dabbled in everything. Like, I was kind of naturally athletic.
Yeah.
However, I wasn't super competitive, and I choked like a lot. When the moment came to shine, I would, miss the goal, or I wasn't good under pressure, but I loved sports. I was naturally athletic, and I had a lot of friends.
Your dad was really into it.
My dad
I'm sure that played a part in it.
And I think that played a huge part in it. My dad and I's relationship, like, my brother wasn't really into sports. He didn't really do that side of things, and so that was kind of how my dad and I really connected, because I was totally into sports. I tried everything. I think I played soccer the longest and the most consistent, but that's because that's where my friends were.
Did you play high school? You didn't play high school soccer though.
I didn't play high school soccer. I played 1 year. See, and I never did competitive because my family couldn't afford it. It wasn't like really an option for me to go competitive with any of the sports. And I played softball for a couple of years, and even that, it was so expensive that I just always ended up going back to soccer because it was, it was just the cheapest. I had the most fun. My friends were there. And my friends at a point, I want to say it was probably like right before high school, they all went competitive, and it just was too much money. And I don't even think I tried out. I can't remember if I ever tried out for a team. But yeah, it was just, that was kind of the end of my soccer is when all my friends kind of moved on. And we played indoor a couple years in high school, which was really fun. I played with some girls just on a fun high school team.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. Like just an indoor, you pay the $150 and you have the league or whatever. So we did that. I did, honestly, softball was one of my favorites. I loved softball, but again, it was so expensive. And I didn't play until later in life. Like,
you already felt behind.
it was like middle school. No, but like I was kind of good at softball. But by the time I got into it, it's like you're going to tournaments every weekend. You're traveling. You're doing all these like, there was just too much.
You're not just playing a game on Saturday and being done with it.
And if I remember correctly, the team that I was on was, which we should talk about this in this podcast, the parents were nuts. I remember it was like parents got in arguments on the sidelines because their daughter wasn't being...
Finish your history though, and then anyway, I definitely want to go into that.
So then in high school, my goal, I wanted to letter so bad. That was like, I wanted to be varsity in something. Wasn't going to be in soccer. I never played basketball. Volleyball, I probably could have done. I kind of regret not doing volleyball because I feel like I probably would have been kind of good at that. So I picked up tennis. And I played tennis my entire high school career and had a blast. Like, it was so much fun.
But you didn't play after? High school happened, then you didn't go.
That's not true. I played in college. Not for college. I played like like intramurals in college, the rec side of that. I played, but I was only in Pullman for a year, so that didn't last very long.
And then you met me,
and I met you, and you don't know how to play tennis, so
but you pulled on your soccer shoes.
And then and I had fun with you. Like once I met you, I'm trying to impress you. I suck at soccer.
You said you were a forward.
Because I don't know how to play any other position.
Gosh.
Definitely don't put me in defense because I'm just going to step out of the way if somebody chucks a ball.
No, you ended up playing defense. Ended up. I remember you started at forward, but after a couple, we would pass you the ball, and
I had no idea what to do.
You need to freaking score if you're going to play that position.
No,
and then you ended up helping yourself back in the back with Zaza. You're like, I think I'm going to hang out back here. Okay.
Oh, I was not a good soccer player. I had fun with it, but I was not good.
You were good.
Zachary yelled at me way too much.
No, you were good. It's just you were there. Yeah, we were intense. So you got to like bring.
So Zach and I's relationship also started because he found out that I played soccer. And I really liked him. I was like, this is the guy I'm going to marry. So, all right, let me go buy some sambas and
I ran a co-ed team, so I'm like, sign, let's go. Let's sign up.
He didn't care. He's like, I don't care about this girl. I just want her to play soccer.
Yeah. You're willing to drive from Vancouver all the way down to indoor goals? Like, let's go.
Yeah. Which also another side note, I would come all the way down here. It was there. It was a 45-minute drive to play a 45-minute soccer game, and then he'd invite me out to the farm to do like a campfire with all of our friends, and then promptly not talk to me.
Well, hasn't there been a little debate? Like, did I invite you, or was it like kind of
you invited me 100%.
Okay, so I said, hey, Tori, come.
But honestly, I have to shout out to Paige Pinyard, Sarah Carbonari, and Molly Roloff, aka Molly Silvius. Because if it wasn't for those three, I would never be with Zachary.
Yeah.
Because I would show up, he would sit on the opposite side of the fire and not talk to me. So then Paige, Sarah, and Molly would come over and make nice, just be like, this is super awkward that this chick is here. So I'm just going to go make this less awkward.
Yeah.
They're the ones who kept me around.
Made you retire from then playing soccer at this stage?
Getting pregnant.
Nope, negative.
Really? What?
It was before then. I put a ring on it. And then
and then I was like, done.
You pretty much stopped on the spot.
No, but I remember
you dabbled.
I remember one game after Jackson.
Yeah.
I played one game after I gave birth to Jackson, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. Yeah. I can't run. It was like the women's on like a Saturday that you would go to.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Oh, the pickup.
Women's, they would just like, mess around. And I was like, I can't run. I cannot run anymore. Now I should get back into it.
I feel like you stopped playing League though once we got
now that I'm a runner.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
We just,
Sorry.
yeah, it's hard playing when you don't know your team.
Yeah.
I'm very particular with who I play with.
And you're very competitive.
I can be chill, but if you're not going to be competitive, you need to be running. Okay. Because I'm not running. Okay. These little leggies are not like, so you can be as chill as ice, but then you're running, but you can't be chill and not run.
Yeah. Which was me. So that ended my soccer career, I think.
No, you ran. You were good. You just, So
I don't know. We learned quickly I wasn't as intense as Zachary, and so it kind of dwindled after we had the glory days.
Yeah.
We did like a couple things.
Those glory days were like 3 or 4 years though.
I know.
Yeah, so it wasn't like it was like
remember was it Thanksgiving that like Dan and Mueller?
Yeah, we did a Thanksgiving tournament.
Oh my gosh, that was so much fun.
Camerino played with us one year.
Camerino played with us one year.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was so fun.
Now you're a parent though, and we have kids starting to play sports.
Yeah.
Jackson does his soccer. Mm-hmm. And Lila has started her soccer, but Lila also does dance, which is a sport and has parents as well.
Yeah.
So you were saying your softball team has super intense parents.
Super intense parents.
Yeah.
Like I remember one time, and I was young, I don't really know what was going on, and they shielded us pretty well from it, but I do remember one time this lady getting escorted out.
Yeah. Parents aren't crazy.
Parents are wild. And
parents
I think
in
that
sports
me and
games
you
are absolutely out of their minds.
I think that you and I are really trying hard not to be that way.
Yeah.
But it is hard. Like you see your kids playing and you want to rally. Like
wait.
It's fun. It's fun and you like want to be you know, but it's I don't know. Like it's hard.
You have the urge to be the crazy?
I don't think I have the urge to be the crazy. I think
what's
crazy
hard?
and like
what's hard?
Sorry, crazy. I'm saying like crazy in the fun way. Like it's fun to go.
Oh, I'm talking about the
kids.
crazy in
You're talking about the crazy of like there are some things
psychotic.
And you coached. I mean, you coached not professional. What would you call
competitive soccer?
Competitive soccer.
Even rec soccer.
And so you have a ton of experience with parents. Parents, they ruin it.
No, you and I will never be those parents.
I hope not.
No,
I know you won't, and I just hope you keep me in line.
Escort you off the field before. Those parents are humiliating.
It's
parents
hard.
that yell at child referees.
Oh,
honestly, just care way too much at too young of an age.
Yeah.
Don't understand child psychology, development. And they're in it for themselves. You know what I'm saying? When you act like that, when the whistle blows and you feel the need to yell at like referees, not just moms, like dads too. Dads are the worst, actually.
I don't know. I think moms are probably the worst.
No, because dads, I look at a dad, I'm like, you're supposed to be here like managing this, you know what I'm saying? And like facilitating a fun afternoon for these kids. Yeah. You know, and you know, not all parents, granted, like, but there's some parents where I'm like, that whistle blows and then your kid starts losing and you just like, what are you doing then? Yeah. You know you're in competitive soccer, right?
Right.
Like there's a winner and a lose. Like, did you not think that was an option? So you flipped a coin right now. The game, your kid can win or lose. The odds are great for both. You know what I'm saying? Right. There's not 20 options. There's 2 options, win or lose.
Right.
So your kid's going to lose sometimes, you know, and like, did we not think that was...
And you have to prepare your kids for that day.
Or
that's just as important as...
Yeah. Too many parents sign their kids up for entertainment. Yeah. And it's for your kid.
Or it's like just what you do.
Or it's just what you do. But I'm like, you're expecting to be entertained. And then when a referee stops that entertainment, aka a kid tackles the ball, but you feel like it's a foul because it actually stopped you from being entertained of your kid winding through everyone and scoring the winning goal. You get upset and it's like, no, that's part of like the sport. Is the other team is going to try to, we teach our 6-year-olds like to share, 5-year-olds, 4-year-olds share the ball in practice when they're starting. They don't know how to share, you know? And then when the kids get a little older, I feel like sometimes with parents, like
they're like, just kidding.
Know that your kid has to share the ball with the other team. Yeah. You know, like this is not your kid's show. Yeah. This is 2 teams. I'm talking mostly team sports. My experiences in team sports, not necessarily tennis or anything like that. But
even in tennis, I mean, the same thing applies. There's still going to be other kids involved, no matter which way you look at it.
I'm gonna get off my high. This was my episode, right?
Oh, it is. Yeah.
at a young age, this is one of my biggest beefs with youth competitive sports. You have two teams. Mm-hmm. I'm talking like under 12. Okay. And we look at youth sports as the professionals, the MLB, the NBA or something. That coach is the coach of that team, and that's his team and that's his team. Mm-hmm. And then the league manages the game or whatever. At a youth level, that's not the case. We think it is and we act like it is. In my opinion, you have an adult that's mostly, this is my, not my priority, but my emphasis is my team, and your emphasis is your team. There's also another adult that's refereeing, you know what I'm saying? But all three adults are here to facilitate a game for all the kids. Mm-hmm. If you're only focused on your team, you're actually like...
Which in this case, then you're talking about coaches. Like
I'm talking about coaches now, too.
Which coaches sometimes lose sight of
and
that.
Parents. And coaches lose sight. My team.
Yeah.
These are 8-year-olds. Yeah. There's nothing about your team.
6-year-olds.
These kids.
They're 6.
We're just saying that like my team. Like this is you're volunteering to just facilitate practices and coach and tie shoes and blow noses.
Yeah.
Like stop that.
Yeah, stop that.
You know, like quit it. You know? Chill out, you know? And all these parents used to yell at me like, Zach, you don't understand. Like when you're a parent, you'll get it. I'm a parent. I think it's more ridiculous. Because actually, if anyone interfered with my kids' soccer like that, if Jackson's soccer game went crazy because some parent went psycho, I'm actually going to get more mad at you. I was pretty mad at you guys before I was a coach or a parent.
A dad,
and now I'm a dad. Now I'm really mad.
Yeah.
Now I really think you're ridiculous. Yeah. Okay. So you thinking when I had a kid, I was going to be like, I get those parents now. I understand them. You know, I'm like, no, you actually, I dragged our whole family's butts.
Okay. Do you think though, because you are the coach, you've never been in a situation where you were the parent watching the game?
Yeah.
So, like, do you think that would change your perspective at all, or no? Like, do you think it would still be more
in the terms of like a referee bad decision or something like that? No.
Well, and also in our league, you can't even use refs as an example because they're juniors. They're like 10, 15. Yeah. Like, you can't get mad at a 15-year-old for a bad call during a 6-year-old soccer game.
I would get mad at my kid's coach if he's not helping that child and the other. Those two coaches should help facilitate that game for all kids.
Right.
There's not this you against me. We're both signed up for some rec league. We all went to the same coaches. Like this idea. So that's my thing. That idea of like your team, my team, and we like, no, that's what professionals do. Yeah. This isn't professionals. This is literally 6-year-old, lowest of the low soccer.
What team your kid plays with at 6, 7, 8, 10 years old is not going to determine whether or not they play collegiate or professional sports.
Yeah.
That's not.
And then on the latest thing now that
Okay, wait, before you move on though, I have a question.
Yes.
Were either of your parents that parent?
My mom.
I could totally see Amy Roloff going after a 15-year-old coach because they made a 15-year-old ref because they made a bad call.
I don't know if she did it my mom was pretty intense parent on the sidelines. She was...
Well, even like, so Zach does a lot of stuff with DAAA, and he did, what would you call it? A clinic for the little kids. So they're called Futures, and they're the little kids for soccer. And Zach was doing this whole clinic with these, they were 4. Yeah. Jay was 4.
4, 5, 6.
4. Yeah. Anyway, he's doing this whole clinic with all these kids, and his mom jumps in because I don't know if she didn't think you were doing it right, or she just was like, let me get in there. Like she just walked out on that.
That's field. My mom also just being a mom though. Like she doesn't realize, your son's been doing this. Like I got paid to do this for like the last 10 years. Like I know exactly what's going on. I know exactly what, like if I'm ignoring a kid, it's like
we know why.
I know. Yeah. So
but it is funny though, because now for DAAA this year, who did you call to be the coach? Amy Roloff.
Oh, I might ask her to do the Futures because I'll have Jackson's.
Anyway, I just had to ask because I totally see. My dad was that parent. Now my dad never. No, I can't even say he never. He totally did. He would be the dad that's running down the sideline with me while I'm playing soccer, telling me what to do, like screaming, yelling. And there was a couple times my mom like made him go sit in the car because he needed to calm down. you know.
I just think sports for kids is so awesome. It teaches so many cool things, and it teaches resilience, and like there's a fight in there. There's like you have to like get over a bad call.
Yeah.
There could be a lack of fairness, you know, or equality, you know, and that mentally they have to overcome all those things. Also learn how to be with a team, a teammate, a coach, and taking turns. All these skills that go way beyond learning the actual sport.
Yeah.
But then like all these parents get involved, and it's so irrelevant to me.
And I think that it does such a disservice to kids when parents get involved, because 9 times out of 10, it's 2 parents who don't get along, or
2 adults that don't get along.
yeah, two
Not like a mom and dad.
No, sorry, yeah, like 2 adults from the team.
Yeah.
Whether it's like a parent, 2 different parents getting in an argument, a coach and a parent getting in an argument.
Yeah.
I feel like they are the ones that get in the way of their kids.
Oh yeah.
Having fun, but also excelling in a sport. You know, when I think I look at our team, and I think the culture around our team is pretty.
Our culture's good.
It could be better, but like it's good, and the kids all have fun together. But there is this sideline of like, okay, they are only 6.
Oh yeah.
They are only 7. Now they'll be 7, but it's just you have to calm down a little bit, because they're not collegiate soccer players. We're just here to have fun and teach our kids how to be good sportsmen.
Well, our team is honestly good too. So like this is like if we can't be chill out during our games. How are you going to be
chill?
These are the easiest games to be chill at, because we're winning.
And I think that was one of the things that can be so frustrating, because our team was really good, and our team was winning like 13-0.
Yeah.
And honestly, I looked at it at the end of the day. There's nothing that I can stand here and complain about, because our kids are having fun.
Yeah.
They have a coach who doesn't actually care about winning. Like you are very good about like, yeah, it was 13-0, but hey, Johnny, you didn't pass to, you know, whatever. Like you were good at being like, can we do better? Are we?
I'm just facilitating this game for the kids.
Yeah.
Like
and parents would get upset. Not just our team, but when you coached, like, what do you call it? Why do I keep on forgetting? Competitive. Parents would get mad because Zach would be sitting down during the game. Zach would just sit there. He would sit there and he'd facilitate like, okay, you need to come in and out. And that's when you would stand up as you're like telling somebody to get in the proper position or come off the field. And parents would get, I would hear on the sidelines. So one time I asked you, I was like, why don't you stand up? Like, why don't you?
Wait, I didn't know that's favorite.
I've talked to you about this. And you go, because during a game is not the time to coach.
Oh, yeah.
During a game is the time to facilitate, and you coach. You can't, it's like, what's the saying? You can't show up to a game. Like you have to practice. You can't just show up. You know, like... Yeah,
there's a time... Well, and also, like, sometimes, too, for me, like, if there's already so much commotion going on, why am I going to add one more voice in there?
Yeah.
You know, if mom and dad are saying something or something like that, I'm not going to get in the way of that. If that's mom and dad's choice, go for it. Like, but I'm not going to, like, conflict with what you're saying.
Yeah.
And, like, if parents come to the game, they all want to coach or whatever, and it's like, fine, like... I'll just facilitate these kids, sub it in and out. And like, when you're ready for me to coach, I'll coach again. Oh, but then during practices, now everyone's quiet. And now, so it's back to the
parents
whole parent
do definitely
thing.
Have this ability to just get riled up.
Yeah.
Like,
not everyone though. There's also a lot. This is the 5%. And that's what's unfortunate about parents like these in sports games. The 5% are agitators. And then there's a lot. I've also seen a lot of good moms and dads that I would want to replicate.
100%.
Tom and Terry. I'm not going to say their last name, but Tom and Terry. Tom, I always thought was a great sports dad. How he managed things.
Oh, and Terry, I could totally see being just like legit.
I always thought, oh man, when I have a kid, I want to be like him, and just how he just carried himself. And this guy named Justin, great dad, chill as ice, encouraged when we needed to, defended the team, but then also like during the games, it was the games going on, and that's that, you know. So there's also a lot of good parents too that understand what the sports is about.
Totally.
So I love it, but it does irritate me when adults get in the way with their own little egos.
Yeah.
Especially sometimes they just like have all this like testosterone of war. I'm like, chill out. Like
just let's youth sports. It's okay.
Well, and then criticizing. I never criticize the refs. I can think of 2-3 times I maybe had a word to a youth ref, more like, hey. And it's not,
and you're still coaching. You're not arguing. You're not blaming.
It's more like, hey,
coaching.
this is call it on my team if you need to, but like you got to blow your whistle,
right?
Because things are getting hot.
Dicey.
Like just open up, blow the whistle, even if it's against my team, because you know what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's me facilitating. Like if my team has to take the hit, that's fine, but we're also teaching this child ref to be a ref. Yeah. And
because also, again, it's not professional.
Yes. And I don't know.
I think though, just to kind of bring this all back though, too, I think that having kids in sports, I think it's kind of rocked me a little bit, to be honest. Like it's so much fun. And I have so much joy watching my kids do things that they love.
Oh yeah.
And I have so much joy watching you coach our kids. Like that's such a huge blessing to me. And so I think I got a little bit rocked by all this extra stuff that comes along with it. And I'm trying so hard to really focus on what's important. And that is that our kids are having fun and learning how to be part of a team.
Yep.
And I just think it's been so cool. And I think that you've done such a great job of encouraging mainly Jackson, because he's really the only one that's like in sports right now.
Well, I feel like Josiah's right on his heels.
Oh my gosh. Josiah's going to be like...
He's ready to rumble.
Because Jackson, he's fun because he's ready to try anything, which is what makes that kid so cool. And so I think Zach was a little disappointed that our spring, we're playing baseball.
Oh my gosh.
So we're not doing spring soccer for the first time since Jay's been able to play soccer. And
this is
I think
super
Zach's
painful.
feeling it a little bit.
If there's any baseball fans out there, baseball parents, baseball is simply the worst.
I love baseball. I'm a fan, and I think you're gonna like it.
At a youth level, the game is so slow. My Sandlot. We've been watching the Sandlot a lot. My favorite thing about it is all these kids are playing by themselves in the park, and then the competitive team, the ones with the fancy jerseys and everything, challenge them, and they just swipe them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That analogy right there. Baseball, in my opinion, is a sport until like you get to U10. Should probably just be the kids should be playing by themselves and doing their own thing.
That's probably what they're gonna do, though. Honestly,
but I'm saying like this organizedness, and like I've been starting to follow all these baseball like profiles.
Jackson brought him some books too from school.
He brought me a baseball book, but it's like
so cute. Anyway, sorry.
I don't know. The game is so slow. It's so. All these youth sports have their own culture too.
I know. Well, okay, that's the thing. I love the culture of baseball. Maybe the game can be kind of boring sometimes, but I got to take you to like a Mariners game.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to a Mariners game?
I've been to one MLB game. That was San Francisco.
Oh yeah. See, that was fun. But like, okay, anyway, it's the culture. And some games can be so much. I can remember going to a Mariners game in high school and a fight broke out. And it was like the most exciting game I've ever been to. It was so much fun to like, this guy got hit at like on home plate batting or whatever. He got hit and he stormed the mound, and then all the teams. So it's like, it's competitive, and I think the culture of it, I think that's why I like it, because it's chill. There's not a lot of yelling. There's not a lot of back and forth. It's a very organized.
But you always see these managers yelling at the umpire. I feel like that's part of the culture. Is like manager comes out and then the umpire throws him out of the game. But that's why
I kind of like baseball, because I think it's still kind of related to tennis in the way of it's a gentleman's sport, and the umps really are in charge, and they should, as referees, should also, there's this emphasis on umpires to like they're in control of the game and what they say goes, and I've always liked that.
That's like any sport,
but I feel like soccer, you get. It gets distracted. There's so much activity.
The refs call goes though.
Yeah, you're right. But I just like the culture. The culture of baseball I enjoy. I enjoy going to the fields. I enjoy
it. I'll enjoy it then if that's truly what everyone does, goes to the field, puts out their chair and eats their peanuts and just watches the game.
Yeah.
But then like once we start thinking it's something way different, it's like, hold on here. Like, like strike zone. And I've been following the rules of baseball too. Like there's this page that has these debates, these scenarios. What should have been called? Is that the correct? And there seems like there's a lot of debate in baseball. Like, are you allowed to do that? Are you allowed to do this? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, soccer's a pretty like
straightforward.
It's pretty straightforward. Right. And like if there is a disputed call, those rules say it's to the discretion of the referee.
Right.
So like that's the referee thought it wasn't rough enough. Then there's not this like, is it too rough or not?
Right.
It's the discretion of the referee, you know, to decide. And that ref style will tell you. So I'm saying like this baseball thing, like did he run? What's the line where you run down the line?
The runner?
No, the runner cannot leave the line.
Yeah, you can't go outside of I forget what they call it, but
so there's this whole scenario where the catcher caught the ball and was standing in the line.
Oh, yeah.
And now he went around and he tried to go around the catcher.
Oh, yeah, I've never heard of that before.
Of going around the catcher?
Yeah, like I don't think you can, I would say that's not allowed. That's like if he has the ball and is
then can he
front,
just run into the catcher before the catcher has the ball?
So, yes. If the catcher does not have the ball, I do believe that you can't stand in the line of like running. You can't just stand there. You have to have the ball.
So he either has to run
him.
back to third, or he's out basically.
Tag. Oh, the runner?
Does the catcher have to tag him?
Yes. If you're running third to home, yes. Unless the bases are loaded, but yes, the catcher has to tag.
Or he can run back to third.
What
if it's a forced run? He has to run from third to home. And you can't leave the baseline and the catcher has the ball. It should just be done.
Yeah, well, the catcher still has to tag them. That's what
I'm saying. Like,
so if I was the player, I would be like, oh, I lost. Like you got me. But to hear that a runner is going from third to home and trying to go around, if anything, they should be going under. They should be sliding under to try to like avoid the tag. But no, I would say that would be out. Like if you leave the
there's
line
all these scenarios in baseball that I'm like, what in the ridiculous?
But I'm excited to like teach you. I'm excited because I feel like I know a good amount about baseball. I don't know all of the rules, but I know a good amount. I feel like I'm going to
catch up real fast. Though,
that's true. You're going to know more than me by the end of the season. That's so true.
You're third inning. You go, what's the score?
Yeah, I know, 100%. That's going to happen. Oh, well, youth sports though, it's been fun. It's fun to,
love my passion is coaching.
Yeah.
And I love working with kids and I love facilitating sports for them.
Yeah.
In the most natural way possible. When I say natural, the same way that if you have a bunch of kids out at the park, that they would go play.
Yeah.
I'm going to end on a story real quick.
Yes.
Jackson is at the park with his friends.
Oh, this is such a good one.
And they find a stick and they find some ball, like not a ball. I don't even know what it was. It was a circular object of some sort of plastic mesh. Yeah. Okay. And then the stick is all woppy, and they go over there and they start playing baseball.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, you have 10 kids, and their bases are like little, like a random stick, a random whatever, and a random pine cone. Okay. And it's a muddy field, and then next thing there's his two friends or three friends.
There was three of the boys.
And next thing you know, you have 4 or 5 other kids out there, and they're all playing baseball with a walkie stick.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
But see, those moments are beyond sports. That's such
Sandlot.
A proud parenting moment.
But no parent interference.
No, you were playing with them, and then you ended up. Hold on, let me defend it. You were playing with them. You showed them, okay, here's the bases, and then you left.
I didn't even show them the bases. There was only him and Becca at first, I thought, or Micah.
And then Micah came in.
And
later.
So once they didn't need me, I was out. Yeah.
And so there was like very minimal parent interaction. And they, they're playing this sport Sandlot style on their own. But then beyond that, Jackson like asked and the other boys too actively went and said, "Do you guys want to play?"
Yeah.
And then by the end of it, all the parents were standing around watching these boys play this sport, and it was the coolest moment.
And that's what I'm saying though. It was they were able to play the game by themselves with no parent interaction.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And they were having fun. And that's why sometimes youth sports, I get it. It's maybe our system now. It's our culture. Yeah. We don't have those neighborhood games anymore. We play till the light turns off. There's just different safety now or whatever.
Right.
But that's like for me. So when we are in this organized sport culture. How do we replicate that culture?
Yeah.
The most natural way possible. That's how kids are going to love the game. That's how they're going to play the game. All of our practices had scrimmages, like games, because they just want to play.
That's all they want to do. Yeah. 100%.
My last rant.
Go for it.
Stretching before at the youth level is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Do you have your kids stretch before they go to Sky Zone for 3 hours? No.
No.
Do you have your kids stretch before they run around on the beach for 4 hours?
No.
Do you have your kids stretch before anything? But then in organized sports, we randomly have 6, 7, 8-year-olds stretching before they literally play 20 minutes of soccer where they have to sub out with 5 other subs.
I feel like that's mostly just coaches who like don't know what to do.
They want to look. Well, they're selling a product. They want to look organized. They want to look professional, and that's back
We're professional if they don't stretch before the game. They're probably going to pull a hammy and it's not going to be like, but like kids,
no, kids don't need to stretch like that. Kids, that's, I get, maybe you're teaching them.
You're going to like have some physical therapist come after you.
Well, just maybe you're teaching them a system or a formality or a habits, maybe. But like, let's not, if we're using up 30 minutes of practice time to stretch, stop
I see
it.
what you're meaning. Yeah.
Anyway, that's my, like, that's not natural. And we don't, so why are we all of a sudden requiring it?
I don't know. David tells us to stretch all the time. And
we're 30 plus.
I can't get out of bed without stretching anymore.
So 12 and up? Sure. Okay.
30 and up. For sure.
6 and 7, make them play a tag game. That's their stretch.
There you go.
You know, like, oh my gosh.
I love it. Well, Zach could go on and on about
We're going to
soccer
approach this again because everything in my life, I have an analogy for soccer or youth sports.
Well, and you got to talk about like professional. I feel like that's your zone. You love talking about teams.
If anyone's still listening to my rants here, I've been told people tune out.
No, this was good.
I want to have a professional. That's one of my goals. And
he's going to ditch me.
I'm going to ditch Tori.
Have his own podcast.
And I'm going to have my soccer podcast where I talk soccer and I like do commentary on games.
You should.
You
got to work on some pronunciation.
I know, that's my biggest flaw.
You just have to have me in the background be like, this is how you pronounce it. Pronounce it. Pronounce it, not pronounce it.
I just need someone that can like pronounce the names.
Yeah, which I don't even know if I would be good
I'll
at that.
tell you exactly what's going on here. Just hey, 7, what's his name?
You could have just like a voiceover for every.
I know, it'll be brutal.
Somebody else just says the name.
But I think commentary on soccer and youth sports,
and
everything would be way cool.
Yeah,
so
I would listen.
Anyway,
well, thank you guys for holding on during that. I hope that gave some insight into youth sports and
Zach's true passion.
If
you couldn't
I feel like it has shifted from like sports to youth sports.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like that's like the season of life right now. You're in it.
Totally.
Love it. Well, thank you guys for being here. Make sure that you like and subscribe on YouTube and everywhere you listen to podcasts. Make sure you're following Tori Roloff and Zach Roloff on Instagram and Raising Heights.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here. Do your best. Forget the rest. Love ya.